Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Let's go to you ready to do the bad? What was your bad for week 12?
The Commanders.
Yeah.
Feels like the wheels might have kind of fallen off. I know Jaden Daniels was hurt. The end of the game was exciting, and maybe it should just went to overtime. But that game, I think he had 3 yards at halftime or close to that, well into the second quarter. Again, I mean, I know we kind of jump out and they looked really good, but you have the ebbs and flows, and their offense seems a little more predictable. The defense, I never thought was actually good. They had good stretches, but I think they're limited on that side, and you kind of figure out what teams are doing after a few weeks. So, but losing to the Cowboys with Hooper Rush, giving up 2 kick return touchdowns, not great.
Yeah, just piggyback off the defense, 22, 28, 26, 34. That's the last 4 games of total points they allowed. So I think their defense definitely came back to what we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. The special teams is not good. You mentioned the 2 kickoff returns, but also the missed extra point that would have tied the game up. That's not great. So yeah, it just seems like they did come back down to earth. The offense seems, like you said, they're obviously they had struggles. They kind of came back in the second half and had that big 86 yards touchdown to McLaurin that helped make the game look closer. But yeah, I think this is more the last couple weeks where it was that was the Commanders we were kind of expecting.
Yep, and they've opened the door for floundering team like the Buccaneers, even another NFC West team, to kind of get that 7 seed. Now that they've lost 3 in a row and are 7-5, they've kind of opened the door to other teams, but they should be happy. I know it feels disappointing if you're a Commanders fan to be 7-2 and excited, and then what, 17 days, 17 or 18 days later, you're 7-5. But I think realistically, this is more of the team we should have expected. Maybe they can, again, it's a long season. You can swing back up towards the end, but this kind of looks more what we kind of expected.
Yeah, correct. For my bad, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers as my bad. They played Thursday night. Here's what they did. They won in total yards. They won in time of possession. They won the turnover battle, and they won the third down efficiency rate against the Browns, and they still end up losing the game. So I think that was kind of bad. I don't even watching the game, I didn't understand how the Browns were still in the game. In that fourth quarter, the Browns kept going. Winston ended up getting that one touchdown, and I think the snow and the weather was also a little bit of a factor. But when you win all those categories, I can't imagine too many teams winning that many categories. So it's got to get a bad for me because I still don't understand how they lost, but they did lose despite statistically being the better team.
Yeah. Sometimes there's games like that where you go, I when I watch the second half, I don't know how you lose that game. And Cleveland did everything to give it to them.
Right.
Like I almost made it my ugly. I was like losing it watching the end of this game because the Browns got close, and then I know it's snowing, but instead of like running it to keep the clock, they're like throwing it 20 yards downfield in the snow, and then Winston throws the pick, and then they get it back. And when I think Chubb got it down to like the 4, and I was like, oh, cool. They can just kneel it and kick a field goal to win, and then they score on the next play. And I'm like, what are they doing? And Pittsburgh used a dumb timeout, but and I have no rooting interest in that game, but I'm like, uh, who is running this? But the again, Pittsburgh is good, but these are the games where you're like, how good are they? If you're gonna like play a really good team, their defense, I think, is what keeps them in it because Russell Wilson comes and goes 1 minute. The first half, he literally looked incompetent, and he throws that dart down the middle through the snow on a slant for a touchdown, and you're like, all right, well, it's still in there, but I don't know. It was bad this week though.
Yeah, no. So obviously the weather became a factor. I will say, like, division games are just tough. I think we always forget that in these moments. Like that, the Browns, that's their Super Bowl. They're going into that game like this is our Super Bowl. I think it was right. It was at Cleveland as well. So sometimes we kind of forget like how much these division rivalries matter, even to the team that's a lesser team. So I think that was a factor. And really the other thing that's going for the Steelers, in my opinion, I'm really the other teams in the AFC, I could see them beating every team in the AFC. Like to me, there's no like dominant team in the AFC right now. They're kind of like going to be, to me, rock, paper, scissors type of matchups. Because they beat the Ravens the week before. So it's like, if they have that in them to beat the Ravens, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it's a bad loss though too, because you were on pace to keep up with the Chiefs for that number 1 seed, and you kind of want to play at home if you're the Steelers.
It's a hard game to, I don't want to say throw away, but it's a hard game to take a loss in.
Agreed.
When you get down to the end between the Chiefs and Bills, you give them a little breathing room.
Correct. Okay, you ready to move on to our ugly?
Oh.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.